Test, test. Test, 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 test. 1, 2. Test, test. 1, 2. Concurrent viewer. All right. We are live. Now, being live got some benefits and some downsides. Number one, we have to wait for people to show up, right? We gotta wait for all that to happen. But on the upside and downside of this is, upside is, hey, from England, mate, it's your favorite AUQ owner. What's going on, Buzz? Kiz, 1.8T26. What's up, buddy? Again, I'm just going live because I got work to do. You'll see the engine bay. You'll see the carburetor on inside the engine bay right there. Carburetor is dirty. It's clogged on both cylinders. So we got to unbolt the carburetor, pretty much take off the linkage, and then take off everything else on top, and then take the carburetor off and take it all apart and clean it. So we're going to walk you guys through the entire process. It's just maintenance you got to do on these motors, since carburetors don't like dirt, period, unless you have like a crazy filtration system. They suck in dirt all the time and they get clogged, and you got to just do a lot of cleaning. It's a lot of work, but it's what I'm here for, right? We're here to learn, and we're here to just chill and talk. So if you guys have any questions while I work, that's what I'm here for, especially for the live stream. One thing I will tell everybody as I'm live streaming, just ask. Ask about anything you want while I'm working. You know, it's not going to hurt anybody. I'm here to have a conversation. So let's do it. Got to do rear bushings on the A3. I'm not impressed. Rear bushings aren't too bad. You know, they're not subframe bushings. I'll tell you that. If you're not doing, as long as you're not doing subframe bushings, I think you'll be okay. Because subframe bushings are the worst, you know, because there's a lot that has to be removed just to do basic work. All right, so I got the live chat going right here, so I can read while I work. Again, yep. See, you understand. Subframes are the worst. Oh, you got to do the rear subframe. Yeah, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I thought you weren't going to be doing subframe work, but I guess you are. So we're going to take off the velocity stacks right here. They're just 10 millimeters. Take those off. Once those are off, the bottom cover comes off with it, with the gasket, and that'll give us access to the plate here. We will have to remove the linkage either from here or here, whichever way we want to go with. Doesn't really matter. Once that linkage is removed, then we have a couple nuts right here, here, and in the back, and then we're going to pull them out, and then we'll move the camera over so we can do a full tear down of the carb and cleanup of it. Now what we want to use is a 1/4-inch socket for this job, because there's not a lot of space down here in the engine bay. You know, even though we're like on the back end, right? But there isn't like a ton of space. But my issue that I was having is that I had a lot of loss of power. So a quick diagnosis is just control the fuel flow, the air fuel mixture screw right here on the bottom, close it, and if you don't have any change in RPMs or the way that the engine sounds, you got a clogged pretty much carburetor. 9 out of 10 times the fuel screw right up here, you can pull that out and clean it, and that usually fixes the issue. You know, heavy quotation marks on that, usually. Now, if that doesn't fix the issue by removing those 2 screws and cleaning them, then we have a jet or a galley somewhere with some type of clog. So before I go any further, you'll see here, there's 2 washers that sit right on top of these velocity stacks. What you want to do is when you yank them up really carefully so you don't drop the washers. See, there's 1, 2 washers. What can and potentially will happen is that you'll drop a washer right inside the dang carburetor. If you're lucky, the throttle body's closed, then you can just get a magnet and yank it out. If you're unlucky and it went into the engine, which means you got to take the manifold off, you got to take all of this off, and then go hunt for a washer. It's not fun, I tell you that. Not fun at all. You can ask me how I know. And see, 2 washers. Set them aside. All right, that's now done. Next step is there's a gas. This whole gasket right here is held here by just pressure. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove the linkage right here, because this whole linkage right here is putting pressure onto the metal plate that's right here, and this makes it harder to remove. So we want to unscrew it from the bottom, and that's an 8mm. Let's see what's over here. And then usually this one's a 10 most of the time, if we're lucky. Nope, might be a 9. Or if you have a death grip, you just hold it with your own and bare hands. And then unscrew that one, and the linkage is now removed. Put the nut back on that. So you'll see here, it's all nice and loose. Next step, this little spring right here. Sometimes it's a pain, sometimes it isn't. There we go. That's removed. Okay. Let's see if you're going to be friendly with me. There you go. top one removed. And there's a little gasket here. Be super careful not to bend it or crack it. They're easy to get, but just don't. They're cheap. This little gasket right here. Just do your best not to bend or break it. If everything else worked out good, this guy should pretty much slide up. And then the linkage is now removed, just like that. You can set that aside, don't even bother. It's not really in the way. So now this whole top assembly is done. We don't have to do anything else at this portion. Now we need 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. There's a fuel line line back here. You can try to remove it. It will dump fuel. If you have like a flat vice grip, pinch it off and then let it dump a little bit of gasoline. It should be good. That way you're not huffing all the fuel fumes the entire time. Unless you like doing that kind of stuff, then by all means go for it. I think this is a 12. Now, if you're just tuning in, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're doing just pretty much a carburetor service. We have to take the carburetor off on my VW bus on the left side of the engine because cylinder, what is it, number 3 and 4 are misfiring. They're just not getting enough fuel to stay on, and they're not getting in, the fuel isn't vaporizing. So there's a jet or a clog somewhere in a galley, or one of the jets is just dirty, or just one of the holes has some type of sand in it. I know for a fact because the last, 3, 4 times this has happened, it's had a little grain of sand inside of the clog in it. Usually it's a 5-10 minute fix. I tried it today, didn't work, took longer than 5-10 minutes. So we have to take the carb out, take it apart, and then start blowing air everywhere and see where we have some debris. Oh yeah, I said it was a 12. Now, mostly the main reason why I got sand in here, I live in Ramona, and we have a lot of fine sand. I used to live in Ramona. Heavy correction on that. I used to live in Ramona, California, and we have a lot of fine sand out there because it's high desert area, you know. So the sand out there isn't very forgiving. It is very rude, and it gets everywhere. All right, so the most annoying part here of this job is this 112 that sits all the way back here. And you'll notice I have no play here. I got like, that's it. Like, there's no room for a socket. So I'm gonna see, right? Bash of hobbies. it's not a rebuild. It's just a cleaning. You gotta tear it apart. And I guess, yep, you know what? I'm gonna correct myself. That is a rebuild. Gotta tear it apart and put it all back together. I guess that's the definition of rebuilding, right? I need a 12. Here we go. Let's see if this ratcheting wrench will give me some play. Let's see if this will help me out here. Nope, that's even worse. Yeah, this is the one nut that just sucks out of all the ones that's on here. I'm gonna see if I can get a little 12, an extension, like a wobble head and an extension, and get that guy out. Say, oh, that's my last nut. That's it. Once that nut is off, the carb comes out and we can work on the bench. Let's see if we can make this work. Let's see. Come on, in there. Oh, just barely. That is such a tight fit, but it got off. See, if this was a bug, I'd pull the motor out. Oh, okay, I see it right there. I'm not gonna. All right, carburetor's loose. I'm not gonna yank it out yet. I gotta get a magnet, get that nut out. I gotta get a vice grip and pinch the fuel line off. Loosen the line, then yank it off, and then go next. Go to the next step. Ooh, we got some comments on Facebook. Let me see what's going on. Let's see. More Jimmy. Yeah, it's hot out there, buddy. It's a little bit. Not too bad. All right. So now let me get that nut that just fell down right here. There we go. So that's done. Now the next step is, where's my vice grip here? Did I just leave? Oh, here it is. So we use one of these vice grips. Okay. We kind of leave a nice little like 1/4 inch gap in here. Should be more than enough to pinch off the line. Maybe a little bit more. And then we unscrew it. Now, if you have a mechanical fuel pump, you definitely want to pinch these lines off as much as you can, because it's going to drip fuel the entire time. I have a electrical fuel pump, so it won't drip fuel except for like that little bit of hose that came off, and that's it. The next issue that you're going to have, you have 4 more washers to be careful with. You can definitely give them a try to like lift them off of here. Sometimes they're friendly and they'll come right off. Sometimes they are a pain in the butt. I like to use a little magnet to get them started. And then once they get started, I can slide them off. That back one probably won't be able to. Oh, look at that. I actually might be able to get that sucker out. Yep. There he is. Got him out. And then with that, we should be able to slide this carburetor all the way up and out. And there we go. Now these are empty 44 HPMXs. So we're gonna tear them out on the bench and then find out where we're getting our clog and then go from there. So let's move on over to my workbench. Let me clean it up really quick. Kind of wasn't prepared for this today. I was actually supposed to bring my Mark IV in here, which I know you guys want me to still do. I'm gonna do it. I promise you I'm gonna work on the Mark IV, but I have other vehicles that, you know, don't need as much TLC than my Mark IV right now. My Mark IV is like 2 to 3 days worth of work. So I know it's hot over there, huh? It hit 80s over there, I heard. All right. Let's bring my camera out of here. Sorry if you guys are bouncing around. Want to make sure we're all good. Yeah, that's a good height. All right. Hopefully that looks good to you guys. It looks good to me. First things first, let's get that carb. Let's get a rag. Get a rag on the table. Flathead screwdriver. Okay, so here's our MP HPMX dual 44. And then right here off the bat, you can see there's a bunch of dirt right here. So I'm gonna take this gasket off, oh so carefully, because I have to reuse them. I don't have I'm not doing a rebuild kit, just cleaning up. Get my phone over here. Oh, my wife's watching. Hi, babe. So as you take a carburetor apart, always remember what goes where and where you took it off. So we have our left jet and the right jet right here. So we're going to take the left jet right over here, set it aside. Same as for the right jet. Set it aside. Okay. We're going to get some lights here in a little bit so we can look at like inside of it. As we turn this guy around, you have a mixture screw, one for each cylinder. So this guy's going to come all the way out. And he's going to go over here because we turn the carburetor around. So you have this guy over here. Same goes for this one. When you do a rebuild, you traditionally get all these new. And then you have this guy right here. I forgot the term for this one. So if anybody's watching, can you guys tell me what this screw is right here on the carburetor? I forgot the name for it. I think it's the air jet screw. I can't remember off the top of my head. Okay. Whatever you take off, go make sure you made it to its buddy. Okay. You'll notice I kind of going crisscross because I turned the carburetor around. So this guy right here. All right, so we have a float right in here. I might open this up and clean that all out. I got to get a container to dump the gas into because I'm going to flip this upside down and drain the gas. And then once the gas is all drained up, we're going to blow everything out because I don't know how much debris is in here because you guys can see just by this right now, there's already a bunch of trash in here. So we know that there's trash inside of here. So we have to clear it all out. I mean, I might take the top off of this, but I don't think we have to go that far on this assembly. We'll see as we keep cleaning. But let me go get a container and then we can go forward on the next part. Let's see, container. I might not have another container. I will have to be right back. It's going to be a minute, so give me a second. You have a container. Brand new oil container. The gas will pretty much evaporate before I even put more oil in it. But we're gonna flip this just like that. You'll see how much gas is coming out of there. I'm gonna let that drain out for a little bit. I'll be right back. I'm gonna open the doors so we don't have all the fumes blowing in here. Ooh, smells like straight gasoline in here. All right. Did I miss anything? Anybody ask for anything? I don't know. We'll see. All right. So we're hoping that the bowls clean up completely. Because what's going to happen, we're going to flip this back and we're going to blow some air pretty much to the top of this with some air compressor. I know, Lulu, I know. I'm going to plug this guy in. The quietest air compressor ever. Not even kidding. All right. So the goal here is to not get any splashback. Sorry if it's really loud, guys. Turn your mic speakers down. Now, what we're trying to do is clean the throttle plates, and then we're going to clean kind of like these guys, and then we're going to blow air through some of these spots here, because I can see that there's already dirt inside of where the jet's going, and more than likely that's where our culprit is with all our problems. So we're going to do really quick blow right here. Same with this one over here. So that's our mixture screw down here. And then we're going to go back around. And see, that's where all that gas comes out of. And that's where the bowl, so the bowl's right here. This bowl right here, when it sucks air in, it actually makes a Venturi effect and sucks gasoline out. And it comes out of this little tube right up here. And usually, if you're lucky, you don't have any issues. But sometimes you get a bunch of trash coming out of it. And we notice there's air coming out of areas where air is not supposed to come out of. And that's probably because these guys aren't tight enough. Making them a little snugger. And then so I don't want to pressurize this bowl. I might have to just take the bowl off. So right here, we're going to take this screw off right here. Same with this one. It's going to drain the bowl. This is where it preloads fuel for the Venturi effect when you have air passing right through a tube. That's how you create vacuum as well, by the way. What's another way to create vacuum? Correction. That is glued on. I don't think these are supposed to be glued on. And I don't want to break a seal because I don't have any RTV right now for these. I'm going to drop the pressure on the air compressor. Okay, so around 20-30 psi. And every time I blow something out of here, I feel like a little bit of sand comes out on my, like hits my hand. So I'm hoping that we got everything out of here. Like I want to tear these all the way down, but I don't have replacement hardware for all this stuff. So I don't want to tear them all the way down because you run a risk of not being able to put it back together because they're missing parts. Just gonna blow out every port pretty much I can find. Oh, this one has a spring in it. Got to be careful. Don't want to lose a spring. All right, got one more to do. Now what I want to do, so I blew out the mixture screw. I blew out the rear, the top. I believe that's just a fuel screw. Not 100% sure. What's next are the jets, which I have over there. I'm gonna blow them out in just a second, but I'm just looking around, making sure there's nothing else I need to worry about before I move forward and do more cleaning. I'm just going through each one of these. I wish I could show you guys down here, but there's a lot of debris inside the port where the jets are right here. All the way down there in the bottom, there's a ton of debris. And I don't have any carb cleaner right now. I kind of ran out, and that was kind of my issue last time, is I used carb cleaner and it worked for like a day and then it did the same thing. So I'm hoping, because I'm doing this instead, I'm actually gonna have a cleaner ports, you know what I mean? Well, again, I didn't take much apart. Gonna move this guy off the workbench now. Come back to this. All right. So everything's set for these guys on the left, these guys on the right. That's how we took it apart. We're gonna take apart first this guy right here. What we want to do is look inside this little tiny hole. We want to look in here and see if there's any debris. Now, this one, if this one gets clogged, you won't get fuel. I think it's fuel or air. I can't remember, or proper air mixture. This one's really annoying, and you get a lot of sand in there. I don't see anything that would give me this issue, but it's clean as a whistle. So we push this guy, slide it back in. Again, this guy is over here. These guys are over here because we're working on it backwards. So this guy's in here. These only go on snug. You don't like, ugh. Once you get it to the bottom, you get a really good little, and that's it. Like, you don't need much to tighten these guys. Now this one, the mixture screw was filthy, and that usually happens because of backfiring due to it being clogged. So we put this guy back in here very carefully because it's a very pointy. Oh, let me show you guys this one. This is really cool. It's like a full-on needle. Okay. They'll get carbon buildup right here and clog your mixture, and it kind of messes up your mixture sometimes. So you want to make sure you swap that out. I mean, not swap it out, but clean it out as best you can. Okay, so that one's done. Now we're going to take apart the jet. So you have a main guy and then this guy at the bottom. So the 3 pieces for your jet. And you look inside, look for any type of little debris or anything. If you see anything, just clean it out. Usually the large one is pretty much always going to be the cleanest because it's massive, has a big hole. This guy, the secondary barrel that's right in between all the 3, this one has a bunch of tiny little holes in it. You'll see it does a bunch of little holes. Now this one mixes your fuel with air, so it gives you that vapor. The bigger the jets are, the more fuel and the more air mixture, from what I recall. If I'm wrong, please comment below and tell me that I'm wrong and tell me how it's actually done, because I want to know, I want to say it correctly, right? Don't want to be giving bad information. But a lot of this is sucking air in, and then see these little holes here? They create velocity, and they create a roll, or like a kind of like a way it mixes the fuel correctly. Same thing. You want to blow them out. And this is the last bit of it. Does the exact same thing, just at a finer detail towards the end. And you put them all back together. And then this guy is on this side of the carburetor. Same thing, once you bottom them out, you're just gonna feel that tightening and should be good. The one that you don't tighten is this one, the mixture screw. That one goes on there just a couple turns and leave it alone. Now we have this guy next over here. See, I wish I can show you guys this. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but there's a piece of sand in there. It's hard to show you, but there's a piece of sand inside that little tiny hole. I'm excited because that's a sign right there that there's debris inside the carburetor, like I was talking about. And this is where, you know, oh, here, it's on my finger. You see that little speck? That right there can kill a cylinder with no gasoline. That little speck right there. It's hard to show you guys, but it's a tiny, tiny little speck of debris right there. And that's all it takes. Believe it or not, that's all it takes to make a cylinder stop pretty much mixing fuel. It's not hard. So I'm happy that that actually came up on camera while I was cleaning it, because it happens a lot on this carburetor on this side of my engine, on the left side of the motor. I don't know how many times it happened while I was driving this car, but I mean, it's probably done it like 4, 5 times, and that little piece of debris is all it causes it. It's so annoying. So, and you have to pull over the side of the road, take it out, blow it out, and then hopefully that was it. Again, same process, put it all back together. Okay, so we got this gasket put back on. And now we're gonna put it back in the engine bay. Open the garage door and turn her on and see if we fix the problem. I mean, let's find out. If you guys are here with me, enjoying the ride, let's go finish this off. All right, guys? Let's see if we can get my 71 back up and running correctly. Oh, by the way, say hi, Lulu. Lulu the shop dog. Say hi. She's all right now. I gotta do this right now. Really? I know, I know. Oh, such a good girl. All right. You stay there though, Mama. We're back over here. And I woke you up from your afternoon nappies. All right. Looks like we're good there. So like I was saying earlier, we're gonna mount the carb, mount it all back up the way it was, and then push the bus towards the back of the shop, and then we're gonna turn it on, and we're gonna listen to it and see if the misfiring is gone. Remember, cylinder 3 and 4 are what the ones that are giving me the problems. They just pretty much wouldn't fire. I can't get it to idle right. Couldn't get it. It was just stumbling really bad. So we found one of the carbs already covered in debris. So we know that one definitely was getting blocked and not allowing fuel to go through. The next one was the other carburetor, other side of the carburetor. I didn't see any debris. So I'm hoping that maybe the rest of what was getting clogged was just in cahoots with each other, causing the same problem. We'll see. If it all works, we're good. If it still has a problem, then we're gonna order a rebuild kit and then pretty much take it all apart and rebuild them from scratch. That's kind of like the next step you don't wanna go, but sometimes you have to. Shit happens, you know what I mean? Let's get to work. You know, they always come out super easy. They're a pain in the ass to put them back in. Ooh, pinched me. Ow, 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 ow. All right, there's that guy. And then you got to put this guy back on. Come on. Well, what's causing giving me my headache here? All right, next thing I have to just remove the jet to get it back on. It's being annoying. Come on. There we go, you son of a biscuit. Struggling. Okay. Now we got the top gasket down. Whew. The next step is to get the velocity stack cover. Come on. Okay. Jeez. I'm late. I made it. What's up, Wayne? You're never late, buddy. You're always on time. So we just got back to putting the car back on. Sorry for bumping you. I had to get in here. 'Tis a tight fit. All right, so carburetor is pretty much on. Now we just got to put all the washers back on, and then all the nuts. One, two, three. There's number 4. And 4 nuts. All right, so put that guy on here. This guy on over here. The one I hate the most is the one all the way back there, guys. Ugh. Struggle is real. And you know it, buddy. That's why we work on our own stuff, though, right? We enjoy the struggle sometimes. The struggle bus sometimes is not the struggle bus. It's more like the mental medication bus. I guess I can call it that, you know? You know? Yeah, it's 100%. That's the VW life. We enjoy it. We enjoy the struggle, the pain, the hardship. But then that one moment, you got it all right. And it just works. And you're just like, that's why I struggled, because that's all I needed for confirmation. Now this is the one I hate the most, is this guy back here. There's no space for this nut to, you know, fit, like for a hand. Oh, please, 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 please. Yep, there we go. Man, you are working nicely today for me, buddy. All right. Yeah, I have I I've done that before. The problem is you can't fit a socket in here. You can fit a socket on the top of the nut. You can fit it like I'll show you right now. Hold on. Let me get to that, because there's no space for like a socket to fit flush on that nut, on that back nut. That's what sucks. You have to do this extension with a wobble head and like a wobble, so it's all wobbly. And then you have to like make it go in, maybe. I'll try to use it without the wobble head. See if I'm more successful. Nope. Nope, that's not gonna fit either. I need this wobble head because it needs to fit in there. The problem is this wobble head is like warped on the end, so it doesn't hold the socket in place very well. I can put my hand in it. Oh yeah. Like that works. And then you get the 12 in there. And try to get it a little couple more turns if you can. Just snug enough. So you can be like, it's good, but sometimes you can't. That's funny. So all I gotta do now is just double check all these guys. Okay. Take everything out. I'm not gonna mount all the stuff in here until I have confirmation that the problem has been solved. So let's go to the next step. We got to turn on the bus, but we have to open the garage because we don't want to be enjoying carbon monoxide poisoning or exhaust fumes, you know? Right, Lulu? That's a big no-no. So what I'm going to do, while you guys are here, we're going to turn the camera over. Pretty much, I'm just going to push the bus to as close as I can to the door without disturbing the Lulu, the dog. She's like my shop princess right now. She's had a rough afternoon just with noise everywhere. Has been able to relax. I'm gonna do the same thing to her. Not let her relax. Right there looks like a good spot. All right. So I know Lulu. Yeah, we're keeping her. We named her. We ended up naming her, so we kept her. Thanks, Wayne. It's just been losing weight and just eating healthy. All right, Lulu. I got to move you over, okay? I don't want you to suck in all this exhaust. Go back, go back. Go back, go back. All right, so you guys are here. We're gonna turn this guy on and try to get it tuned, dialed in. So move, Lulu. You're gonna get hit with exhaust right now. Oh, wait. Damn it, I forgot the linkage. Forgot the linkage. See? I was all like, I don't feel throttle. All right. Should be good now. Nope, gotta tighten it more. Usually you can get away with it just being on there, but that's too much loosey-goosey. That should be good. Don't you be trying to eat something. All right, let's try this again. I have an issue with cylinder 1. Cylinder 1 is still giving me a problem. I can hear it too. Yeah, definitely smells really rich. See, like right now, it's idling beautifully. It's got a really nice idle, but see that? Acceleration, bad. Misfire. Yeah, idle though is perfect. So we're probably gonna check timing next. Lulu, no. Do not bite that wire. No. I told you, do not bite wires. So we're gonna probably look at the timing and see if we're off on timing. Possibility, but I mean that sucker's not moving, so I don't think so. See, like right there, rough. Yeah, we're gonna check timing next. Yeah, so I think timing might be very off. So you guys, we use the timing light. Set it to cylinder, what is it? 1 here. And you run it off your battery. So what happens is that, I can bring you guys in closer. It's gonna be still gonna be loud. So what's gonna happen is that this is gonna shine a light on this little marker here. You see this notch right here on the block. This is kind of TDC. So depending on where it's supposed to be negative 28 degrees at idle, and then 28 to 30 degrees I believe is at idle, and then once you accelerate it should go back in. I can't remember 100%, but I believe that's where we're supposed to be. Let's find out when we turn it on. So we are way off. You guys can, hard to show you. Hopefully you guys can see it on camera. Ah, crap, the dog got out. Hold on. Lulu, come here. Ah, she got out of her leash. Ah, she's a runner, so hopefully. Lulu! Sorry guys, I gotta go get the dog now. Lulu! Come here. Come here. All right, back again. Got the dog. So what I got to do, we're off by like almost 15, 20 degrees on timing. So we got to loosen this nut right here. So the carburetors are working. So now we're going to turn this back on and we're going to see if we can find the proper timing on this. So hopefully you guys can see that. But right now it's at 10 degrees before top dead center. So what we want to do, we want to be about 30 degrees right there. That's where we want to be at idle. So we're going to give this a rev. We're going to tighten it down. It already sounds a lot better. So it's still misfiring a little bit, but a little too advanced. I gotta go back a little bit. Sounding better, but still misfiring a little bit. Still bad misfire. Yeah, it's over here because I can get it to die out on me over here, but I can't do it over here. It's still the back cylinder. It sounds a lot better, but I still have a misfire. It could be a spark plug. I could need a new cap and rotor, but I only put like, I think maybe 5,000 miles on this motor, maybe 4,000 miles on this motor. Hasn't been that long. So I don't know. I don't want to start throwing money at it. I already cleaned the carburetors, so I'm probably going to do spark plugs. I'm probably going to do a cap and rotor to see if that remedies the bad. It's only on low RPMs, okay? Once it starts accelerating, it's perfectly fine. We cleaned the debris out of the carbs. I mean, we might need to just do more carburetor cleaning. But I'm going to leave it as is. I'm going to take a quick drive. Maybe just put a load on it might help. You know, sometimes you just want to drive it and put a load on it to solve the problem. Sometimes that's all it takes. Let me get you guys back over here. Whew. So I'm gonna pretty much end the live stream for right now. If this works out really well for me and it drives driving better, we'll probably call it semi-fixed, but not repaired. We're probably gonna do another service on it, but this time around, we'll take the carb out. No, we'll not take the carb. Yeah, we'll probably take the carb out. I'm gonna buy some carb cleaner and just soak the parts and clean the parts really, really well. On top of that, we'll probably do plugs and a cap and rotor for the next service on this. And that might solve the problem that we have. This is like heavy. I mean, I haven't replaced the spark plugs in over a year on this bus, but I haven't driven it that hard-ish. So it could just be a plug. You know, it's only on low RPM, so that could just be me, but I think that might be the issue, and that might remedy the problem. Older cars do prefer a fresh spark plug, you know, and cap and rotor, just so it has a stronger spark on it. So I was a little high on my timing. It wants to be at 10 degrees for timing on this, but no more than 32 degrees um, at max RPMs pretty much. Um, so we're only off by a couple of degrees. I'm gonna reset that right now before I take this out for a drive and have more issues. I'm gonna set the timing back to about 10. I'll set it to 10 degrees and see where we're at. But other than that, I think we're good. Hopefully that kind of solves some of the problems. If not, I'm gonna swap out some plugs. All right. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in this live stream. PincheAl's Garage, just working on some carbs. I need to get this bus as good as I can because it will be a daily driver for a while. My Mark IV is going to come in here long term. So my Mark IV, I have to remove the bags. I have the airbags because they're bad. I have to, pull the motor possibly. I have to fix the fuel system. The fuel pump is pretty much clogging. So I probably have to take the pump out and then clean all the debris inside the tank. Drain the tank and then clean all that out. So I have a laundry list of things to do on that bus. I'm on my Mark IV before it's roadworthy. So while it's being worked on here, I'm going to ship out the bags to Raceland. They have it guaranteed for life as long as I'm the original owner. So I am the original owner of the bags. So I want my bags replaced. 2 of them blew and the other 2 are super hard, like crack rotting. So we'll see what they do for me. If they take care of me, I will be giving them a massive review and positive massive review on my channel and doing a full DIY install on my bags. Why not, right? Let's do some more bag work. And then after that, we're gonna order adapters for my new wheels. We're gonna get tires. After the tires are done, we're gonna go and get the ECU retuned on my car for the new manifold. We're getting a really bad fuel mixture, so it's just dumping crude gas out of the exhaust. So we got to fix that as well. Once that's all dialed in, we're going to go and get the car painted. We're going to redo the interior. We're going to work on the trailer, the Mark IV trailer, build a new interior on the trailer, and then get that painted and get matching wheels for it. So there's a lot of work going down on this project. Once that's done, then we're going to put the Patreon VR6 Turbo Jetta next in the bay, and we're going to finish it. We're going to finish the dang Jetta giveaway VR6 Turbo. Once that's done, then the Corrado 1.8 T-swap giveaway car will be next. Once the Corrado's done, we're going to do another Mark IV 24 valve VR6 rebuild, and then that might be my wife's new car, or we'll be giving that away. I don't know yet. And then we're gonna keep going one car at a time until all the cars that I personally have on my property are done. And then we're gonna start on new cars, and then we're gonna start giving away cars. We're not gonna keep any car that we build after that moving forward. All right, guys. Thanks again for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I wish it was more, exciting and more victorious of a service, but it happens, it does happen. And this one, it's not gonna kick me down. I'm gonna fix it. And once it's done and dialed in, we'll be back and driving Papi the bus a lot more often. All right, guys, peace out. Have yourself a wonderful day. And as always here at PincheAl's Garage, we're gonna break, we're gonna fix, we're gonna repeat. Deuces. And as always here at PincheAl's Garage, if you see the dubber on the road, give him a thumbs up, give him a deuces, respect one another, and as always, love everyone. Peace out and have a wonderful day.